So what do these two Macs have in common? Believe it or not, they're pretty much the same system. In fact, these two 20-year-old Macs are quite similar to the modern day Mac Pro and Mac Studio in comparisons. They're basically more or less the same system, except one has expansion and one doesn't. Well, that and this one has a screen on it, unlike the Studio, but we won't go into that. Anyway, today we will be reviewing this, the late 2004 Power Mac G5, which is a very interesting system that is based off an early iMac G5 1.8. Let's go. Anyway, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and welcome to episode 4 of season 5 of my PowerPC series. Today we will be talking about this late 2004 Power Mac G5 1.8 gigahertz. And it is a very interesting, very weird system that Apple should have never made, probably. But it's still a very interesting system, and we'll go over about that in a minute. And welcome back. So yes, the late 2004 Power Mac G5. This system is based off a 1.8 gigahertz iMac G5. No kidding. It's literally, Apple had such a hard time selling the 1.6 and 1.5s, I think that they decided, we have all these extra logic boards laying around and all these extra components. Let's make a system based off of one of these iMacs into a tire form, which is a really stupid and dumb idea, because this, unlike all the rest Power Mac G5s, this is literally the slowest Power Mac G5 ever made. In fact, it's slower than the 1.6 mid-2003, which came out the year before it. And the mid-2003 1.6 is faster because it's got 1/2 bus speed prorated to the CPU speed, where this has 1/3 bus speed, because it's literally the iMac chipset inside. This system is such a rare system that I've ended up with 3, which you'll probably be seeing in a second, because I had to get 3. And I've been filming these for a long time now, because every time I get one, they're broken. And this one's the nicest one I got. I got this one from Wes. And in honor of the PowerPC Challenge for 2024, I thought it's time to finally upgrade this thing. And we're going to do that. And thank you, Wes, for this system, because this is the cleanest one I've gotten. And the other ones came in the mail kind of bent. And you would think that wouldn't be a problem, but if you look at this, look at the size of the board inside. Also, if you notice, there's no fan in the front of it, because this thing is convection cooled like a G4 Cube. Yeah, what a great design. There are fans in it, of course. There are fans in the power supply, and there are also fans up here in the optical drive bay. And there's probably one cooling the chipset in the back, but I don't know, because I've never taken one of these apart before, and we're going to do that today. Yay! Plus, there's nothing online about how to take them apart that I can find. So we're going to be guessing the whole way. Ooh, yeah, I'm excited for that. So yes, we'll be upgrading this system as much as I possibly can. Wes has already maxed out the RAM. We'll also be transferring parts out my 2 other part systems, because these cases are not interchangeable with regular G5s. All the mount points are different in them. So if you've got a twisty case, you're boned. So yeah, we're going to be pulling parts out in the 2 other twisted systems. Anything that looks nice and will fit in this, we're going to stick in it. We can't upgrade the video card, I don't think, because I don't think I have any better cards laying around currently. This has an FX 5200, we'll have to live with that. But we're going to also put the G5 Jive into it, like we did in the Mac Oddware video up here, where we installed that into my 2.7. My 2.7 probably doesn't like not having enough airflow. I was too afraid to run it long enough. This is convection cooled. What do you need airflow for? I mean, of course, the heat will be extracting it out the back. There are fans in the back, actually, but there are none up here. So it will still pull some of the heat out. anyway. And the fan airflow is not going to be that big of a deal, I don't think. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting video. And like I said, I'm not looking forward to taking this thing apart. And I'm just beating around the bush at this point. We should probably get going. So let's go. Now here are my 3 extremely rare and bent systems here. Oops. Anyway, here they are. Yeah, I didn't go into the history about this and why Apple probably made it. Well, I did, but the main reason was these were supposed to be for the educational market. At least that's what I've understood. And Apple would, give them rebates and stuff. This thing would be the cheapest system you could buy for a computer lab. The problem is the schools probably would rather option for the extra $100 or so it would cost to get a dual 1.8 or something like that, because these were still way overpriced for what they were. And if anything, the schools could get used systems from the year before that were quicker. Wasn't a great idea. But yeah, here are the systems. There we go. Yeah. It's going to be fun. Let's go. So I've already taken most of the parts out of the part systems. In fact, the only thing I really took out was this optical drive, which is better out of one of them. Wes took really good care of this. He upgraded it. It's got Wi-Fi in it, a bunch of other things, but it could be better, and we're going to do that. So we do have the G5 Jive, which you're not going to have to sit through watching me put that in again. We have that there. We also have the Sonic card for the SATA, thermal paste to repaste it, a SIG USB 2.0 card with a Bluetooth dongle in it, and the Sony DWU-21A super drive, which should really help with the media reading, because I don't think this is an original drive, and it's not that great of a drive. I guess it got replaced at some point, so this is an upgrade. And then there's this. I don't even know where to begin on how to take it apart. So let's get you guys set up in camera, and I'm going to try to figure out how to take this apart. So I haven't mentioned this lately, but yes, I am very allergic to dust, and I can't breathe because I've been working on these dusty computers all night. But now we're to the point where we can actually start tearing this down to get to the CPU. Oh boy, this should be fun. And like I said, I don't know how to take it apart, so we're going to wing it. Pray I don't break anything. So I figure the rivet's already out there, so it should just... Yeah. And there is the heat sink, which would be very convenient if the screws weren't on the other side, which means you got to take the whole board out just to repaste it. Thank you, Apple. I really appreciate that. Talk about barely fitting in the case for not fitting in the case at all, because the case is too big. And there's the board. Now I'm curious to see what the back looks like. Here we go. Wow, that's very interesting. All right, so let's move the case out of the way, readjust the camera, and keep going. Okay, so I don't even know how to begin to approach this. Now, first things first, if you guys notice, the heatsink's attached to the board. I can't think of any other G5 tower that's like this, because Like I said before, it's an iMac board with an iMac chipset. The CPU is not upgradable on this thing, and because of that, the CPU itself is actually soldered onto the board. It's a BGA G5. So, try to get over here and figure out what we want to take off first. I would say let's get the heatsink off. I don't know how it's on. It looks like you take the side posts out first. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Believe it or not, the heatsink assembly is quite similar to any other G5. It's just it's attached to the board. Same type of screws, same type of mounts. Same way over 2 tightness. Same giant pain in the butt to get apart. Okay. There's the back of the CPU. Grab the heatsink. Flip the whole thing over. See if you guys are in camera. You ready for the big reveal? It is so strange. Ooh, this paste is dry. It is the strangest thing. You don't believe me it's an iMac board? It's an iMac board. In fact, this is the same heatsink for, I bet you it's the same chipset. Identical. We're going to pull the heatsink off for that too. And the Hrutkay mod curse strikes again. Like I said earlier, I would probably end up bleeding. Oh, I'm bleeding. Got that off though. I'm going to clean everything up now. Okay, so I looked it up. This is a 2nd generation G5 like it should be. And this is the exact same G5 that is in that iMac I showed you in the beginning of the video. And it's what it looks like. This is literally an iMac. In fact, I believe this is the same chipset too. The only difference between this, besides the PCI slots of course, is it accepts twice the RAM as the iMac, but really, like I keep saying, it's the same board. I do believe these have better caps on them. I don't think this board gets cap plague, but it is an iMac board. It's just got extra ports on it and, you know, a little extra I/O, but it's the same chip, same CPU. It is such a strange thing Apple did. So welcome back, guys. We've got the system back together. I have decided to change the PCI card for the USB 2. The only reason why I'm adding this is because there's not really enough USB 2 ports in a G5, in my opinion. Plus, this allows me to have integrated Bluetooth. But the reason why I'm changing this out is I think the other card might have caused some problems with my 2.7. And this one, I don't even remember where it came from, but I'm pretty sure it's a USB 2.0 card. It's got a date code of 2010 on the chip, so that should work. We've got our Sonic Tempo. We're going to install those first. So, let's get to it. And there we go. We have the final assembled product. Let's hook it up and see if I broke anything, especially the graphics card, because I tried to repaste it, but I couldn't get the thermal adhesive off the die. So well, the chip. And so I kind of left the thermal adhesive on it and just put a glob of thermal paste on it. So there's a chance I broke the chip just trying to pull it apart. So if so, we'll still have to find a graphics card. Hopefully I didn't break it. So let's get the side panel back on. Where did I put it? There it is. See, this one's more suited for this mod. It still looks really stupid, but it looks better in this than it does the 2.7 in my opinion. And this one shouldn't overheat. Doesn't mean it won't. All right, let's get it going. All right, so before we hook it up, I decided we should probably add the antennas. And I've never actually used the antennas on a PowerMac G5, but since this actually has a real airport card in it, we can use that antenna. The Bluetooth antenna is just for show because there's no Bluetooth in it other than the one on the card. But yeah, it was a really weird design by Apple, and it was on all G5 towers until the late 05. The late 05s actually had this plastic strip right here. That was the Wi-Fi antenna. Yeah, really weird. All right, guys, so this is going to be the first power on test. It didn't click when I plugged it in, so I don't know if the power supply is working, if it's hooked up. I have no clue. So this is the screen that Wes gave me. This is the Mac that Wes gave me. I thought they'd go well together for this video, so let's see. Well, yeah, that's a good sign. Everything sounds like it's spinning up. It's a lot louder than it used to be. It also sounds like there's a disk in the drive. There isn't, but the drive works. And I didn't break the video card, so that's a good sign too. So let's get it to boot up and we'll see what happens from there. All right, so we are on Wes's install here. Let's go over to about this Mac. As we can see, it's a 1.8 gigahertz PowerPC G5, 4 gigs of DDR. There's that 1/3 speed bus, which makes this literally the third slowest G5 I think ever made. So yeah, it's not great, but hey, it works. We look at serial, SCSI, ATA, whatever that is. I am tired. It's 4:55 in the morning. We do have the drive showing up. We've got all 5 drives. I don't know why I closed that out. Yep, getting tired now. Let's open that back up. Let's open that back up. We open back up. Open. It's not what I wanted you to open. There we go. So, let's look at the graphics. Yes, those still work. Let's see here. Memory. Here's the RAM he installed. And then we, of course, reinstalled. Yeah, this is a really weird system. There's the drive, which ejects with the press of the button. It sounds like it needs a little work, but it works. Yeah, it's a cool system. Really weird. Really strange that Apple did this, but I mean, cool, it works. I think there might be one more thing I want to try. Decided to run a Geekbench 2 test. The score is based off a 1.6 gigahertz PowerMac G5 at 1,000 points. This system is slower than that system. And this system just scored basically, what would that be? I believe that's like dual 1.5 G4s. It's actually pretty powerful considering. There's got to be some kind of glitch with Geekbench. I can't believe that, but I've always been told this is the slowest PowerMac G5 ever built. So, it's kind of shocking. So yeah, we have managed to upgrade the weirdest PowerMac G5 ever built. And this kind of looks like deja vu with the G5 Jive in it. But yeah, that's actually going to stay in this system. I have went through heck trying to get the nicest example I can possibly get. And that's why I still have 3 of them. I'm going to keep the other 2, not just for parts. One of them's straight up parts. The other one I'll probably also eventually restore because they're too rare to trash. This is just such a strange, weird, rare system. And it's apparently quicker than it's been advertised to be, or at least they say it is. Because it actually beat out the 1.6, but then again, I've never ran a 1.6 on Geekbench, so I can't verify it actually scores 1,000 points. But this is running at the same speed as my G4 MDDs, both of them. And it's got twice the RAM in it. That's not bad. I mean, those G4 MDDs scream. This still kind of slow for a G5, but you get the 64-bit availability, so you can run 64-bit applications and stuff. If you can find any PowerPC apps that are 64-bit, it will do them, unlike my MDDs, which is awesome. And you don't have to worry about the Y2K38 bug with this thing. So that's kind of a win-win. It's still a really stupid design and a really stupid idea Apple had, but it's really neat. And you have to admit, it's really neat. So, yeah. Thank you, Wes, for giving me this thing. Well, selling it to me. He didn't give it to me. He sold it to me. I plan on having a lot more projects with this thing. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, but we'll figure out something. This should be a very fun thing to work with in the future. So, yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Once again, do not forget to check out the PowerPC Challenge for 2024. It will go on until the end of January, and we'll have the link in the description below. I know this videos will be released mid-January, but you'll still have a few weeks if you want to play around with stuff. So that would be awesome. Don't forget, also have a Patreon and memberships. So if you want to hit that join button below or hit that link at the end of the video or in the description for Patreon, I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching today. And this has been a Hrutkay Mods video. 5 of my PowerPC series. And in today's video, we will be talking about this late 2005 Power Mac G5. It's a 2004. Pretty soon I'll be saying, welcome to my Mac Pro series again. In today's video, we will be talking about the late 2004 Power Mac G5, which has been a tongue twister for me to say for the last like 10 minutes. So we're going to keep with the, I think it's an FX 5200 in it. And it's also going to have some other, we're going to have to jump cut there because I'm not refilming this part. We'll also have to take it apart to repaste it. I'm not looking forward to that. No, I already said that. So I haven't mentioned this in a while, but yes, I am very allergic to cinnamon. I'm tired.